Pelosi caught on video practicing stunning moment when she tore up Trump's State of the Union address. When she tore up Trump's State of the Union speech, excuse me. This was brought to our attention by the Daily Mail. As Donald Trump was delivering his State of the Union speech, it appears as though Nancy Pelosi was practicing the gesture of ripping up the speech. Several people on social media called it stunning. Some people also suggested that she pre-ripped the pages before she actually ripped them. I tend to believe that she did pre-rip the paper before she actually ripped it. It's kind of like that moment when Hillary Clinton with the pickle jar. It was a pre-opened pickle jar, obviously. Pre-opened pickle jar, pre-ripped State of the Union address, speech. All I know is that it's pretty unbelievable how Nancy Pelosi can just sit there and tell a reporter that she doesn't hate anybody, while at the same time she gleefully she signed the impeachment papers. She signed her name with literally 20 different pens. The condescending clap towards President Trump. Clearly she hates the guy. There's no doubt about that. It's pretty fucking pathetic if you ask me. Speaking of pathetic, Allah Akbar Rashida Tlaib actually stormed out of the State of the Union speech President Trump was giving when he brought up Brett Kavanaugh. She appeared on MSNBC Hee Haw with Richard Maddow. Richard asked her, he said this, "Tell me about that decision, and what was the tipping point for you?" "I think, even the mention of Brett Kavanaugh, for me is a trigger. Just as a woman in America, the fact that he, rightfully was accused, and having an incredibly strong woman come before the public and the world and tell her story of sexual assault by this person that was appointed to the Supreme Court is just, I couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand still and not do anything about it, and I needed to walk away from that. He's the President of the United States, a forever impeached president. What we need to do is remove him from office. He cannot continue to lie to the American people. He cannot continue to not only what I saw in lie after lie, but also to mislead the public and use immigrants and use people of various different faiths to try and increase fear and just use fear-mongering kind of politics. Look, we're tired of this hate rhetoric. We're tired of the divisiveness in our country. Well, I do want to say 4 years makes a difference. Because remember, in 2016, she actually was forcefully removed and did not walk out of Trump Tower. And let's talk about Christine Blasey Ford. Okay, I will agree that she is an incredibly brave woman to go up and fabricate a rape story that never actually happened. None of the witnesses could even corroborate her story. The people she said were there, they weren't there. Her whole story fell apart, and yet she did have the courage to come forward and tell that story, despite it being one gigantic fucking lie. Let's tackle the other shit she said. President Trump isn't using immigrants. He's not using people of various different faiths to scare anyone. Those people have said various different faiths. I think we know who she's talking about here, the Muslim people, right? Okay, we're gonna specifically talk about the Muslim faith, I guess. When your faith rewards suicide bombings, that's not President Trump using those people of various faiths to cause fear. That will be those people of various faiths. That would be the faith itself that would be the cause of the fear, not President Trump. Because as you may or may not know, bombings of any kind of terrifying. Anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent here. The point is that Nancy Pelosi is a liar when she says, "Oh, I don't hate anyone," and then just pre-rips a State of the Union speech and then rips it again. Rashida Tlaib is a liar, talking about President Trump, doing things that he didn't do.